Hey ladies and gentlemen, how are we today? We are back again with another Piinksparkles / Ausam Vlogs video. And the reason why we are back here is because, well, Piinksparkles seems to be someone that has this tendency to keep repeating the same mistakes time and time again. But to be honest with you, I'm not really here to call her out specifically because she keeps making the same mistake. I'm using her as a prime example for one of the legitimate reasons of why we are still in this pandemic. Now, I understand everybody has their complete different views when it comes to the pandemic, but this video is not built to have some sort of political conversation about what we can and cannot do, conspiracy after conspiracy. No, we're not here for that. We're here to talk about what this person, this specific YouTuber represents, and all the people that also, represent the same motion that she's representing. Now, one thing that she represents herself in particular is we should wear a mask, we should be at home, we should be isolating, you know what I mean? We shouldn't be going out there and doing all sorts of behaviors. But the problem is this, well, I mean, it seems to me as if this young lady's been unable to fulfill that role. Disgustingly, shall I say. But before we get into it, let's start off by giving a big massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel, including every single person that is a subscriber as we continue to grow. Come on now. Now, when it comes to herself, Piinksparkles herself in particular, the problem that we have at hand is that she is a part of a group of people who, just like myself, who want to be out of the pandemic. And just like myself, we believe the best way forward to come out of the pandemic is if we follow the rules and the guidelines that we're given. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, again, we're not getting into conversation about it, it's just my opinion. Every single country right now is going through the same thing, and as far as I'm concerned, the government in each country is telling us all the same thing pretty much, that we must self-isolate, we must wear masks, we must do whatever we can to make sure that we are not, spreading the coronavirus itself in particular. So therefore, some of us just like, cool, we'll just fall in line and we'll just do whatever that needs to be done so we can get out of this, so we can have the ability to actually leave our countries, whether that's to go on holiday or whether that's just to go see friends or to see family, either way, okay? Now, with that being said, Piinksparkles is someone that has pretty much broken this, what I just said throughout. And and the reason I bring her accountable to this is because, again, she represents the same thing that I represent, if that makes any sense. So with that being said, though, I was then sent an email, okay? And to be fair, before I even send an email, let me not remind you that this is a young lady that went to Mexico once upon a time, which is fine. But then when she returned from Mexico and back to Saskatoon, she did not go and then self-isolate straight away. In fact, her and her boyfriend just went straight to Target or Walmart, whichever one it was, as if it was nothing. And then also on top of that too, we then find out a week or so later on that someone on the same flight as them had actually been caught with COVID. So imagine that these two could have actually infected other people would have been absolutely atrocious. Now, at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, let me move on to the fact that at the same time, these are two people who were, at one point, her boyfriend was going to his sister's wedding. His sister was even pregnant at the time. But in that day when he went to the wedding, Samantha stayed at home for one reason and one reason alone, is because she was having a COVID test because she thought maybe she might have them. So the fact that she was showing some signs of symptoms, and all of a sudden, Austin still decides to go to his sister's wedding is just bizarre. But again, that's another thing you're thinking, okay, you guys are clearly not staying safe. But of course, there's been other things that's happened as well within that timeline. But we're going to go into what we have today. So when I received the email, this is the email I received a few days ago. It says, "Hi Madzie, I have proof that Piinksparkles was in Calgary at a bar called Gigi last night, April 3rd. She went from Saskatoon, but since deleted her snaps about it. I have attached screenshots if you'd like them, of course. Thank you so much. And then, of course, I'm keeping anonymous. Come on now." She also posted a picture of her cat, Zeph, to make it seem like she's home when it says 5 hours ago from camera roll. It's an old picture. Please call her out. Your videos are great. Oh, thank you so much. Now, listen, let's look at this evidence that we have here at hand in particular. So therefore, I can give you why we're here to use Samantha has a purpose of what we're in. Anyway, let's go. So, as you can see here, this is the first picture that I have for you lovely people. It's a screenshot that was taken 15 minutes after it was posted, which is obviously, as you can see, 11:43. Now, bear in mind, the clock there is set as a 24-hour clock. So that is 23:43, okay, 11:43 in the evening. Now, at the same time, the next screenshot was taken with another snap that she took 14 minutes. Okay, obviously, we're within the 14 minutes, which says same time as before, pretty much. 11:43, obviously in the 24-hour clock format. And then also at the same time, there's also another thing where you can see here. This is the best picture to show where she was. The first picture of the food, we could just say, listen, you can get that, you can get that meal wherever you are. But in this picture, we can flat out see the background. We can see exactly where she is at this moment in time based on this background, okay? Without a fail. Now, obviously, as you can see here, the time was 11:44 as well. Now, obviously, these are the pictures that were deleted. And then after that came this picture itself in particular, where she uploads her cat instead 5 hours ago. And here's the thing, it says 4:37, do you know what I mean? Which is quite interesting, the time she decided to actually then post the picture itself in particular. And to be honest with you, this is not acceptable. To be fair with you, I'm not even too sure if that's her hands or her boyfriend's hands, to be fair, because I'm not too sure who has tattoos on their hands like that. I don't know if it's him or her. I think it's him, to be fair with you. So if it is him, it's more interesting than the picture isn't even her it's not even her in the picture. She could have just gone out of her friends. He's taking the picture, sending it to her. But either way, it says 5 hours from the camera roll, okay? So we know this picture here wasn't something that she took like recently, which therefore shows you that she was definitely in Calgary when she was supposed to be in Saskatoon, preferably at home, okay? But instead she was like, nope, I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna go to Calgary with my girls, my boys, to do my thing. Listen, we all want to do that, but the matter of the fact is this: the reason why I bring Piinksparkles as the person I'm using to hold everyone, using as the example, is because even though every single person has different views with what is happening in the world right now, one thing that we have to understand and we have to know is this: whether you are someone that chooses to wear a mask or not, whether you are someone that chooses to follow the rules or not, the bottom line, and whether you're someone who chooses to believe what the government is saying when they say that each time someone dies, it is due to COVID, when it may be due to other things, the fact is, the bottom line is this: we are part of a system. And because we are part of a system, sadly, sometimes we just have to follow whatever they're saying, because if we don't, then we're going to end up being in the same situation that we've been in for the last year, and that is the pandemic. And I say this simply because each time someone passes away, each time a body drops, the news will come out and say that body was due to COVID. We don't know that for sure. We don't even know that's facts. I mean, listen, some of us don't even know if the masks do work or if they don't work. But one thing that I do know is this: if the government is telling us all to stay at home, to look after ourselves, to wear masks when we go outside, to keep a certain distance when we go outside, okay? Really and truly, in my opinion, we have to stick to those rules. Whether we agree or not, we have to stick to those rules. Simply because if we stick to those rules, then at least we know that whenever there's a body that does drop and they try and say it's COVID, we can be like, well, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of people are now staying home, so how is this possible? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, people are still going to catch it, right? Let's get twisted. But what I'm trying to say is that numbers are meant to go lower when people stay at home, right? When people keep themselves some arms left. That's what I'm trying to say. So if everyone's following the rules, then that means any kind of conspiracy or any kind of theory that anyone has really and truly gets confirmed, because we're all doing the right thing. I mean, well, we're all following what we're supposed to be doing. Does that make sense? Now, by the end of the day, listen, like I said, it's not a conversation I'm looking to have into here. You know what I mean? All I'm trying to say is that Samantha, what's her name? Yeah, Samantha, yeah, sorry, I get confused with Samantha and Austin. Anyway, by the end of the day, Samantha, aka Piinksparkles, as well as her boyfriend Austin, the fact is this: they have both come out publicly multiple times to say that they are following the rules. They are respecting the rules. But from time and time again, they keep breaking them. And the sad thing is that they're not the only people doing this. There are so many people around the world now who are doing the same thing. And as far as I'm concerned, Ontario has just gone into a serious lockdown. Germany are now going into one, if last I heard. France is even doing their own little shebang right now, from as far as I heard. The UK is getting a little bit better, but that's just for the time being, you know what I mean? I pray we continue to get better, of course, you know what I mean? But at the same time, over the United States, it's not like getting better per se, because each state has a different rule, just like each province has a different rule, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, this is the bottom line. Regardless of how we feel about the pandemic, the matter of fact is, well, I gotta stop doing that. The matter of fact is, unless we follow the rules, we're going to be in this forever. And I think that, for every single person that is desperate and every single person that has been following the rules from the very beginning, I honestly feel so sorry for them, just as much as I feel sorry for myself for the fact that we've been able to follow the rules from the very beginning. But there are people out here doing their own thing, because, you know, maybe they don't have plans to leave the country. Maybe their family's around the corner. I don't know. But not everyone has that royalty, if you dig what I'm saying. But like I said, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, Piinksparkles was only an example of many people who are doing the same behavior, which is unacceptable, especially if you're one of those people that have said, listen, I'm going to follow the guidelines, and then you are not doing it. It's unacceptable, it's unfair, and it is very, very selfish to every single person that has chosen to follow the rules. And I know there's a lot of people that have chosen to follow the rules, even though they don't necessarily believe X, Y, Z. But they're like, listen, if I need to get out of this place, then hey, I just gotta fall in line, man. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I'm excited to see I'm excited to see what every single one of you has to say in terms of Piinksparkles' behavior, and as well as anything else that I did say. But like I said, I'm not looking to get into like a hoo-ha conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? We're all entitled to have our own opinions. Nonetheless, though, we are done and we are out. Thank you so much for every single one of your time. Peace.